Dropping gems from Keisha Christian. She's on a mission, sharing information, knowledge for soul, body and mind. Dropping gems, KeishaGems.com. KeishaGems.com.
Welcome to Just Dropping Gemz, proud partner of Rude Rangers Unite Entertainment. We can now be found on Roku and on the Rude Rangers app. Be sure to download the app on your iOS or Android devices. This episode is sponsored by #PureRomance by Venice. Venice Richards, your Pure Romance consultant, inspires women to enhance their intimate lives and take care of their sexual health. Book your party today. Info in the show notes or description box below if you are watching this on YouTube. My guest on this episode of Just Dropping Gemz was born in Prince George's County, Maryland. Lena is the second oldest of 4 children. Her journey into the arts began in high school as a singer, model, and a freelance photographer. Welcome, Lena, to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Just Dropping Gemz podcast. On this episode of Just Dropping Gemz podcast, I have my beautiful sacred sister. We actually went through a 12-week ascension program with Queen Afua. So I got to meet this lovely young lady during our ascension weekend. I feel so blessed to have her on my podcast today. Thank you, Lena, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on this episode of my podcast today.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad and honored to be here and to be a part of your podcast.
This is beautiful. So those of you who may not know who Lena is, she's actually a singer-songwriter, and she's a beautiful model. She has breathtaking pictures, I must say. And she also does tarot card reading, which I think is very interesting as well. So we're going to be discussing all of that here today on this episode of the podcast. So Lena, can you tell us what actually made you become interested in the arts?
Wow, that's such a wonderful question. I would definitely say my mother. She has been such an inspiration to me throughout my life. She's been so many things for me, but when it comes to art, she does music, she does painting, jewelry. She's very multi-talented, and I feel like watching her and just seeing the way she moved day-to-day life, I felt very inspired to pursue the gift of singing and songwriting and modeling as well, just from seeing her and seeing her life and, you know, just everything that she has experienced on the journey. I would definitely say my mother. She's been one.
Oh, wow. So when you were in school, did you take part in any extracurricular activities?
I did.
Or anything of that sort? So what exactly did you do? Did you do drama or... Because I don't know, like I see you in a drama club or something.
I've done drama. It was a very brief moment.
Okay.
Most of my extracurricular activities were choir. I was in the band as a flag girl. I did track and I also did tennis. But this was around a 4-year span of high school. But I feel like being in choir really introduced me to just visualizing music as something long-term. Mm-hmm. And everything else, I feel like athletic. I've been pretty athletic all my life, but then the more, I wouldn't even say feminine, but the softer side of the arts, which is singing, I feel like I really got introduced to as well in choir, which was in high school. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. So, as far as being a songwriter, what's your genre of music that I would say you write or that you like to sing?
I love soul music. I love R&B and jazz. Those are really where I feel called to and really feel at home, especially acoustic music as well. I'm in the process of learning guitar, so when I can add that to the music, I feel like it would be so wonderful. But I would definitely say soul, R&B, jazz, and hopefully soon acoustic with the acoustic guitar and the voice. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, you just mentioned acoustic guitar. Are there any other instruments that you play?
Not yet, but
Okay.
soon.
Okay, so say that basically you're more into the songwriting aspect and going through that creative process. So can you like cuz now I'm thinking like can you take us through that process like where do you
Yeah.
get your ideas from for your songs and I always wonder like even like with the creation of the album, I'm always fascinated like with singers, especially those who write their own material, how they
Yeah.
go through having this idea and then giving birth to this album. It always fascinated me. So can you take the audience or even describe what that process is like for you?
Definitely, definitely. I feel, wow, that's a great question. I feel like as a singer and a songwriter, I pull inspiration from many different things. Mostly at the current moment, I'm pulling inspiration from just being outside in nature and really just listening. I feel like a lot of times my inspiration will come more from being silent than speaking. And I know it sounds weird for a singer because when you sing, people always expect, oh my gosh, she's singing all the time. But most of the time, I feel like I'm listening. So listening and just looking at scenery. I love traveling and getting my inspiration from traveling. Like even seeing someone in a red dress or seeing some type of animal, or it reminds me of things, and I feel like I can gather it together to make lyrics. And also when I make lyrics, sometimes I will have to come back to a song. Sometimes the song isn't complete in one sitting. Sometimes I feel like I need different experiences to gather the different lyrics and chorus that I have. So I feel like pretty much it's more so like outside scenery, traveling, my day-to-day interactions, and feeling inspired off of that, especially when it comes to heartbreak songs, like, those songs. But also just sitting with myself and really being still and just hearing what needs to be expressed and be open to being a vessel for that and having it flow. So,
Oh, it's beautiful. So it's kind of like you're using, I would say, the universe to
yeah.
guide you as to what you are going to write. Would you
Yes.
describe the type of music that you create as being like healing?
I would. I definitely would. I feel when I thought about what type of music I wanted to write, because I do have many, many people that inspire me. Um, One thing I wanted to add to this physical plane was having music that inspires and uplifts, music that tells a story, and but not to stay stuck in the sadness of the story, like to find a way out of the story to like what was the lesson, or things like that. So I really would look at my music and my lyrics as something that uplifts others.
I could see that. Like even like doing a meditation type of CD or a guided meditation, where
That's
you're singing. I don't know. I see that.
I love that.
I see that you're doing that because you have just like such I don't know if anyone ever told you this. You just have like a really calming spirit.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like really calming, healing. But both of us are on that same path. That's probably
Yeah.
like the Queen of Fool anyway. So
Mhm. Yep.
so you just like really calming. Even speaking to you, how you speak in your demeanor and all that, it's so calming. So I definitely could see you doing like some sort of meditation or something to that effect.
I'm going to write that down in my mental notes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just putting that. I'm dropping gems for you.
I love it.
Yes. So, continuing, one of the things that you mentioned when I was reading through your bio is that you're actually working on an EP. That is so exciting. So,
Yes.
can you tell us a little bit more about this EP?
Yes. So this will be my first EP.
Yeah.
I'm so excited because I say it all the time when I talk to my mother. She's she's one of my inspirations. I remember when I was very, very young, and I would be so nervous and shy to sing in front of her. She'd be like, Lena, sing me a song. You have a beautiful voice. I'm like, I'm too shy. I can't do that. So to think about where I am, where I was, and where I am now, and just wanting to step out and make an EP, I feel like I'm just very excited for it. I feel like I wanted to release it in spring or summer, because I feel like more so in the fall and winter months, I really go inward and really dig deep to what needs to be expressed, what needs to be healed, what needs to be cleansed and released. And then I come with the nature or with the changing of the seasons to like a fresh new, idea or subject to talk about. So my EP is really more so, I would say, inspired by the different phases of life that we go through, different phases, I would say, pertaining to time, relationships, to seasons, and just having, it's like a new days and old endings, a kind of mix of that. So I'm still in the process of writing music and still also gathering a team of certain musicians for a couple of songs, but I wanted to be really like an idea of like a rebirth process for the first time, since it is my EP.
Oh, nice. So you're actually still recording. So that's okay, cool. That is so cool. So do you have a title? I mean, you don't have to tell me,
Titles are in my mind as I'm talking to you. There's some titles that have definitely come in, and I thought about a couple, but I don't. It's not like a solid title yet. But it's coming. I have ideas. They're like, when you like have a child, I feel like when we women create, we really create life from all different angles and aspects. And I feel like music also is like one of my children in a way. So it's like giving that EP a name is a very sacred thing. I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna name it this. It really has to be a process. Like what is it wanting to be named almost, So that is a process I'm still going through.
I get you. It's like when I write my books, it's like,
Oh,
coming up with the name. Sometimes I know the name prior to the book, and then sometimes the name will come to me at the completion. So I get what you're saying. So right now you are, this is like what you think like when you're pregnant,
Yeah.
Right now the baby is forming,
Yeah.
and then when you give birth next year, I'll be so excited. I definitely will be one of the first people to buy your EP.
Oh, the first to know.
I'm sorry?
You'll be one of the first to know, definitely.
Yes, I'm about to say, you better let me know when it's out so I could purchase it, and then I'll let you know. It's out. Go pick up our EP.
I'm so, yeah.
So other than songwriting, what else is it that you do? Oh, we mentioned modeling. I did mention that earlier. Yeah. So modeling, what exactly, as far as a model, can you give us some insight on that?
Yeah, like my story or like just advice or
what? Your story. So what exactly made you become a model? Like what inspired you? I know besides you being a beautiful girl, but what it is besides that?
I would definitely say when I was younger and after I got back from my classes in high school, even middle school, America's Next Top Model, just seeing the cycles of certain women that went before on the past cycles, and just seeing what they go through as far as like having a vision come to life and just following a dream of theirs. I love the idea of like, for me, I feel like modeling is like you're celebrating yourself. You celebrate your beauty, you're taking care of your health. For me, you take care of your health, taking care of your relationships, taking care of who you are as a person, and you get to share that with the world. You get to celebrate that. It's more of a sacred thing for me than a materialistic thing for me. So it really feels like a celebration of like all that I've overcome and accomplished. So seeing that on America's Next Top Model, I just felt really inspired to try, I was enthusiastic to try modeling. My first photo shoot, it was so funny. I was 16 and we put a curtain, like a cheetah curtain, over the one of my window sills, and we took photos, and I was like, okay, that's my first photo shoot, even though it wasn't professional. I did have professional ones after, but I was just so excited to like see how I felt to be in front of a camera and just really embrace the confidence and the beauty of being a woman. So that really inspired me. Now I do really more so freelance modeling, fashion photography, or fashion modeling, and just like different brand modeling as well. So it's been a really beautiful journey, like of getting to know myself and like getting to know even my insecurities through taking certain photos. What you might be nervous to share, as far as like your spirit when you take photos. But I feel like overall it's been a very beautiful experience.
I must say I have to agree because I did a little modeling. I actually didn't start modeling until I was 40.
Oh wow, that's beautiful though. Oh,
Yeah,
love.
so that was like 2 years ago. I did a little modeling, and I must say, what it did for me, it like really boosted my confidence. Like, I am better than what I think. I am bold. I'm living my best life. So I'm sure it probably did that for you, gave you a sense of, it boosted your confidence.
Yes, that's so beautiful. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, and actually it helped me to do this podcast because I became more
Oh,
confident. Yeah. I
so
became
good.
more confident.
Yeah. I recently, recently had a showcasing with a photographer by the name of Varnisha Franklin. She did a series, Profile Noir, is how you pronounce it. And she basically, in her museum, she had a museum that showcased her photos in Washington, D.C. She took photos of 100 African American women and women of color to change the narrative of how women are seen. And it's a very beautiful project. She's taking photos in this series of over 300 women. And I was the first one that she started this series with.
Nice.
So just had a showcasing. She had a showcasing on the 19th of October. And it was so beautiful to be a part of that and to see people gather with their families and have the models gather. It was all different types of women who got together to take photos with her. And that really inspired me and still inspires me to this day for modeling. It's like it's more than just standing in front of a camera and taking a photo. It's very deep, especially for women of color. When it comes to the series that she had of like changing the narrative and just showing our beauty in different ways. That's what I really love about modeling and certain visions of what photographers would have for models or what they want their business to look like as far as photography.
Oh, nice. And I must agree with you with that as far as like just like as a model, you're telling a story. So and even wearing certain clothing, if the designers give you clothing to wear, how can you tell a story with that article of clothing? How are
Yeah.
you going to wear it, how it's styled on you, especially when they give you if you're wearing accessories with it. So it's so many things. It's more than just looking pretty
Yeah.
on the camera.
With songwriting as well, I feel like with modeling, it's powerful in different ways because I feel with modeling, like you have to learn how to tell a story without words. It's almost like it's a hidden language.
Mm-hmm.
So with songwriting, of course, like to be I feel like a good songwriter is a really good storyteller in a lot of cases. So learning how to tell a story with your words, making certain visions that you have come to life in someone else's mind, and they be able to understand it the same way you did when you wrote this song. That's like really, I feel like art in general, just like that language, just storytelling.
Nice. Now, another thing, I know that you have a podcast that you're going to be launching. That must be really exciting. So as far as your podcast goes.
So I'm really inspired. I feel like for a long time I've always loved secretly watching interviews of like either it'll be like Oprah being interviewed or Michelle Obama or some of my favorite artists, and I would love how well discussed the interviewers were to the people they were interviewing. And I always thought maybe that would be cool. I feel like after some things that have happened to me while more so recently great things. I'm like, you know what, I can do this. I want to do a podcast. So I created a podcast. The name is Lena Light, and that podcast is really for inspiring women. It's going to be an all women's podcast. I wanted to bring on people that really are doing things. They're having their own businesses, or they're following their dreams, and they just have advice for women who want to do the same, to share their stories. And that is still in the making, but will be released very soon. Will be recording my first episode very soon with a really good friend of mine. She is so amazing. So the main thing of this inspiration of this podcast is really just to uplift women, because sometimes we have so much power, and a lot of times we sit on our power to bring women on that have like learned how to navigate through that way and like sit in their greatness, stand in their confidence, and they're like, this is what I do. You could do it too. It's no special formula. It's science. This is what you have to do. To inspire people to really live their best life is something I would that I really thought into consideration when I was like creating this whole thing as far as a podcast.
Nice. So what is the name of your podcast going to be?
It's called Lena Light.
Oh, just Lena Light. Okay, cool. I like that. I really love that. Hopefully one day I get to come on your podcast. It just seems like that would be such a great.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
So you mentioned also something in your bio about tarot cards. So would you like to tell the readers, would you like to tell the listeners more about that? How does that connect with the arts for you?
Mm-hmm. I love that, because I remember in our talk we were talking about like storytelling, and how sometimes with modeling, it's like telling a story, like you were saying, through the clothes. Even with singing, telling a story through the lyrics. I feel like with tarot, telling a story of even advising someone or giving them advice, or consoling them through the images of the cards. I feel like each image has a special story with it. Mm-hmm. And it's very powerful found in that way, because I feel most of the time when you can link the words with the images, it just makes it more recognizable to really take in as something that should be listened to. So with tarot, I started in, I believe, November of 2017. I've always gotten readings by a really good friend of mine. She is amazing at what she does. And I was just really inspired by her, and just how consistent and how in-depth and how in tune she was to her gift in her craft. And I would be so inspired. She went with me, and I picked up my first tarot deck when she was with me, so that even makes it like more special to me. But I started in November of 2017, and I decided, it was like a leap of faith on my Facebook. I was like, you know what, I'm going to give 3 free readings. I've never done this before. I'm going to give 3 free readings to the next people who comment on my page. It turned into more free readings and more things, because I just wanted to experiment and see how I was as a reader. And from there, I kind of just opened up the door for me to explore more with working with people in person, email, or by phone for my tarot services. And I feel like it's really it's a way of art, because it is also healing as well. I really feel like I am someone who is a reader that likes to uplift people, not really a gloom and doom reader, someone who uplifts people and say, this is what, might need to be worked on, or have you been going through this? Or this is the message that you should pay more attention to, really to help people. So that's the story of tarot. It's still going, and it's been a beautiful journey to see that, and to kind of even face fears of like, let me jump out and give a reading and never do it before. Sometimes in tarot, it's like, you can be trained in it, but it's something more so intuitive. But I feel like in a way, all women are intuitive. So just tapping more into that, it's really helped me to tap more into like my intuition.
Oh, nice. So, will you be incorporating this in your podcast?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Oh yet. I know for the podcast, I really want to interview women specifically on there. Maybe women who inspired me, like one of my good friends, Ariel Lauren. No, not Ariel Lauren. I'm sorry. I know 3 different Ariels. A is the one that helped me. The one that is so inspiring to me. Her name is Maven a Mask as far as a tarot reader. But if I were to have her on there, I would definitely talk about like what inspired her and things like that. I feel like I'm still getting my confidence up as far as like how to do that on a podcast with just me. Like just me. I'm going to do a podcast. I feel like it will help, but I'm still deciding.
Oh, that's cool. I was just curious how that you would incorporate that. Well, Lena, I'm gonna put you on the spot. I hope you don't mind. I want you to grace us with that beautiful voice of yours.
Oh, I would love that. Let's see what song. I feel like when you do this, all the songs are all like, which one am I gonna pick? It's like picking from a hat. Let's see.
You could just give us a little something.
Yeah. I'll sing Jill Scott, He Loves Me.
Okay.
He loves me, especially different. Every time he keeps me on my feet, happily excited by your cologne. In your hands, in your smile, your intelligence, you me, you court me, you tease me, you please me, you school me, give me some things to think about, ignite me, you correct me, you love me. You like me, you inside me too. Chorus. Ooh.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Lovely voice. I know that my audience probably will definitely be looking out for your EP next year, as I probably will. And I'm so excited, and I'm happy that you chose to share space with me today and come on my podcast. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. And do you have any last words you would like to leave with the listeners and the viewers?
One thing I would say is if you have a dream, if you have a calling, if you have a destiny, which I know you do, please, even if you're shy, even if you're scared, don't feel as confident, pursue it because there is room for you. There's room for you. Just know that.
Yes, I definitely agree. And you are enough.
Yeah, you are enough.
Yes. So thank you so much, Lena, for coming on this episode of Dropping Gemz podcast. And everyone, thank you for listening. Peace and blessings to you. Much abundance. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Just Dropping Gemz, proud partner of Rude Rangers Unite Entertainment. We can be found on Roku and on the Rude Rangers app, which can be downloaded on your iOS or Android devices. This episode is sponsored by Pure Romance by Venice. Venice Richards, your Pure Romance consultant, inspires women to enhance their intimate lives and take care of their sexual health. Book your party today. Info in the show notes or description box below if you are viewing this on YouTube. It is also sponsored by Dropping Gemz Publishing and Dropping Gemz Academy. Be sure to visit our website where we offer holistic solutions with the soul in mind. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at droppinggemz.com. If you are interested in being a sponsor or advertising on this podcast, you can contact us at KeishaChristian.com or email us at KeishaGemz@gmail.com. Much abundance to you. Peace and blessings.